so many times I have thought about stress management, work-life balance. I have thought about depression, work fatigue. But I'm also a victim of work fatigue. I am a victim. So I want to come at your level. We talk together as brothers and sisters and find out what can we do to manage work fatigue. And I want to build a strong case to convince you why we must create me time. And I want to do this by looking at 4 areas. Number 1, what are the causes of work fatigue? Number 2, what are the effects of work fatigue? Number 3, changes you can make at work. And number 4, and I think the most interesting of the 4 blocks are changes you can make at home. Because then you can't reduce work fatigue unless there are some changes we are willing to make, both at home and in the marketplace. Causes of work fatigue. Number 1, workload. Biting too much, more than we can handle. Number 2, long working hours. We know we are productive for 8 working hours. How many can confess here? Many times you work more than 8 hours in a day. Many times you work more than 8 hours in a day. So the second cause of fatigue, long working hours. Number 3, demanding customers. Do you have such customers? Not all of them though, but some customers who put pressure on you. Whatever business you're doing, if you're printing, they make you work overnight because they come the last minute. They are your finest customers. They give you big tenders and you have to beat unrealistic timelines. Do you sometimes have such customers? They may be good, but they bring so much work the last minute. Or certain seasons, you're an accountant, and during the time for tax returns, you have to go an extra mile. You're an exporter, and there are certain peak days, you go 2, 3, 4 days without rest. Number 4, frustrating suppliers. Suppliers of goods and services who don't deliver the right thing. Substandard products are delivered, substandard raw materials. You're frustrated in your place of work. Merimogi says, mine are too demanding. I deal with kids. Yeah, kindergarten kids, that can be very demanding. Kindergarten kids, some of them will soil their pants. You are careful with the food you give them because they can easily get sick and you're blamed. Number 5, bad debts, unhealthy competition. And sometimes, I remember when my Mercy opened her beauty salons, she would put up billboards and competition would come and uproot billboards, destroy billboards. And sometimes unhealthy competition is created by the government. There is no fair playing ground. The policies are not fair. And you are pushing rocks uphill because the ground is not level. We get unhealthy competition in the industry. Number 7, spreading thin, opening too many verticals, pursuing so many interests, doing too many small businesses. This, number 7, is one of the top 3 causes of fatigue among entrepreneurs in Africa. You are trying to do 2, 3, 4, 5 businesses at the same time. You are spreading your capital, you are spreading your energy, you are spreading your time, you are spreading yourself completely thin. Number 8, traffic. Traffic causes fatigue. Worse if you're commuting for long hours. And if you're commuting far, if you're driving very far to your place of work, to your business. I've seen guys, they love living in the cities. A city like Nairobi, Lusaka, Pretoria, Lagos, Kampala. But they are doing projects up country. So you have to drive for many hours and to beat the traffic in the city. If you didn't know, one major cause of work fatigue is just traffic. Traffic is stressful. Number 9, work environment. And now, by work environment, I mean, where are you working? There are some things you need to check about your work environment. How well is it ventilated? Is it too hot? If it's too hot, it will cause headaches. If it's too cold, it will still cause problems. If it's dusty, if there is smoke, If your office is near a sewer line or a place with another pollution, eventually as you continue to breathe in polluted air, it affects your brain, it affects your body, even your ability to rest. Trust me, some work environments you need to physically relocate to better places. You would rather pay slightly more in a conducive, serene work environment rather than be in a noisy, polluted place if you can avoid. If you have a business where you can avoid, and most of the businesses here you can avoid. I saw someone who is in counseling psychology. You don't have to be in industrial area. The debt collector, you don't have to be in industrial area. The accountant who is listening to me, the business consultant listening to me. And then be sure that your office is clean and well clean, well ventilated, and well lit. There are many headaches that are caused because the light was not enough. And then number 10, personal problems. You work so hard for the family you love, but your wife never appreciates you. You go back home, she never celebrates you. She's still comparing you with other men who seem to have achieved more. You're a woman listening to me, you're working so hard for your family, and then you find your guy, your man seated on the couch. He has no income, he fakes job, he goes out to the city, comes back in the evening holding a newspaper. But if you ask what he earned, he has nothing to show. It is so frustrating when you have a partner who is not supportive financially. I'm telling you, when you have a partner who is supportive, even though the work is demanding, you still feel the joy of working. But when there's an adult at home who is not productive and not supportive, the pressure goes higher. How many can confess? Sometimes the frustration we have at work is because there is no support from home. You even wonder, why am I working so hard? Effects of work fatigue. Why is this necessary, this topic right now? And that's what I want to deal with right now. I actually want to share with you 12 things that can happen when you do not take care of work fatigue. There are many things that can happen. I'll share 12 of them. Number one, you get easily irritable. A lot of families, the quarrels they have between man and wife, the domestic problems people have, is simply because of work fatigue. They are unable to deal with the work frustrations, the business frustrations, and they start quarreling right at home. Number two, social withdrawal. You find your partner is not willing to have you near him or near her. They start withdrawing from you. They come in the house, straight into the bedroom, straight to watch TV. They bury themselves into gadgets, social media. Number three, feelings of inadequacy. You feel like you don't deserve. You feel like you can't deliver so much. Some contracts you are going for, you feel inadequate to go for them. You start lowering the bar. You start lowering your targets. You feel like you're not the one who is meant to be a millionaire. You know, millionaires are born out there. They are the Aliko Dangotes and Patrick Mosepe. Not me, not my type. Number four, erratic sleep habits. Either you're oversleeping or you're undersleeping. Maybe before I continue, just for the sake of engaging with us, I can tell you the issues you're going through is as a result of work fatigue. That's why I said this particular lesson that Nyambura chose is life-saving. This is a life-saving lesson. Stay with me to the end. Stay with me to the end. Humphrey, frequent headaches. Nyambura Agnes, lower back and stomach ache. Igosi, lower back pain. Rose, joints, especially shoulder. Rose Mikula, joints, especially shoulders. Sakanya, lower back pains. Teles, lower back pain. Paris, joint pains. Okay. Let me give you more. Those are 5. I'll give you 12 symptoms of somebody suffering from work fatigue and stress. Number 6, loss of interest. You lack interest in things you used to like. Let's say you used to love TV and you lack interest in TV. You used to love watching ball. You lack interest in watching soccer. Or you used to like sex and you have lost interest in sex. So many couples write to me in my Facebook inbox that their marriage is sexless. The husband has lost interest in sex. And a lot of women can't understand this. A lot of men can't understand this. And a lot of people going through that is simply because they are suffering from a lot of stress. Number 7, lack of energy. You feel like in the morning, you don't feel like waking up. You have no energy to wake up. You wish it was in the evening. You wish it was time to sleep. And in the evening, you lack energy to sleep and you wish it was in the morning. You find yourself like you're forcing yourself to work, even though you're overworking. You are literally, there is a disconnect between your will and your body. You want to do it, but the body is refusing. Number 8, difficulty thinking clearly, remembering, concentrating, or even making decisions. You're struggling to make major decisions, business decisions. You're easily forgetting a couple of serious issues, including even forgetting accounting things. You forget some debt you have. Geoffrey Gadara says, that's me, lack of energy. I hear you. I hear you. I hear you. Number 9, and that's Chris Getonya, loss of appetite. That's my number 9 here. Loss or increased appetite. You find yourself either you are eating more than you used to eat, or you're eating less than you used to eat. You have the money to buy food right now, but you have no appetite. And you have drastic weight changes, although you're not dieting. Number 10, sometimes people end up looking for comfort in drugs and alcohol. And sometimes we take drugs without knowing. Some people take too much tea, which is nicotine. Some people take too much coffee. Like for me, I ended up taking too much coffee, up to 10 cups, before I realized I was a victim of the things I'm teaching. Some people take too much beer. Some people they start smoking a lot. Other people start taking hard drugs like cocaine and heroin. And let me tell you this, no one is going to judge you. I will ask you whether you are a victim of drug or alcohol abuse for the sake of helping you. Do you think you could have tried to relieve your stress through alcohol, and when you analyze, you sense you're taking a bit too much? Is there anybody listening to me? When you analyze your life, you realize this is not normal alcohol intake. For example, you used to take 1 or 2 bottles of beer on Friday and Saturday, but now you are drinking every day to sleep. Number 11, industrial disasters. How many can agree with me? Majority of road accidents is because the driver was sleeping on the steering wheel. Majority of road accidents is not because the driver was drunk. It's not even because the driver is a bad driver or a careless driver, but this guy was driving day and night without rest in Nairobi, Mombasa, Nairobi. How many would agree with me? Most of the road accidents is because the driver was simply sleeping. If you go to factories, most of the industrial disasters is simply because of work fatigue. Number 12, frequent illnesses. Can I surprise you? If you find yourself every 1 week, you have a flu, you have a cold, you have a headache, you have a stomach ache, you have some pain somewhere in your body, you're taking medicine somewhere, chances are very high you are stressed and you're nursing work fatigue. And you see, most of the time we want to be taught about business planning, strategic planning. We want to be taught about succession planning. Sometimes it is the soft skills that save lives.